everyone, welcome to episode 8 of the New Guy walkthrough. On this voiceover I have a new headset with a microphone. It's a little more sensitive to the wind than I'm accustomed to and my nose breathing. I know about this problem. I apologize for it in advance. It's not the most obnoxious thing, but I know it's a thing and I will be fixing it after this episode. But right now it's really late. It's been a really long 2 weeks and I want to get this episode out. So my voiceover is not super loud so that the nose breathing doesn't get too bothersome. If it does, if you can't watch the episode as a result of it, just let me know and maybe I'll find some time to redo the voiceover and re-upload. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll leave the original voice recording starting now. But I just killed that crystal lizard to get the scales, and I unlocked that shortcut to where the Black Knight is in the Crucifixion Woods, and the item I just picked up was Great Magic Weapon, so pretty good spell actually at this stage of the game. It's not the best spell there is, but it's certainly going to be helpful. That right there is Atonement, and this should be a hollow gem. Atonement's a miracle that makes enemies aggro you at a greater rate. I haven't actually seen it used. I did have like a support character build, but I haven't used it recently, and I never saw Atonement to be that great. So right now all I'm doing is some administrative stuff, just giving ashes, leveling up, that sort of thing. I think the ashes I gave were the Dream Chaser's ashes, so that furthers along the Pharis of Sunless Realms questline, and that gives you access to. Yep. So I just reloaded the area so she'd show up and talk to her, and she gives you the Dark Moon loyalty gesture, which is you need it if you want to join the Blades of the Dark Moon. So basically, when you give the ashes, the Shrine Maiden is going to ask you, where you got them. If you tell her, then then Pharis will show up, and you can talk to her, get the Dark Moon loyalty gesture, and then from there you can join Rosaria's Fingers and still join the Blades of the Dark Moon as well. So that's kind of like the little workaround to get both of them. I leveled up my endurance like 2 levels because stamina is good, and right now I'm just putting on the Ragged Mask and Mira's set because Mira's set's a little better for curse and poison resistance, and I'm putting the poison bite ring on. I'm grabbing the bandit's knife so I can use the quick step ability to go through the muck faster, and then I'm going to go over to the right side over here. There would normally be poison purple clumps or whatever, but I already picked them up in a previous episode. And right here is Iron Flesh. It's a pyromancy that there's a lot of pretty interesting PvP builds that are real gimmicky, but they're pretty fun, especially if the person that you're playing against doesn't know about that sort of thing. These these enemies right here are basilisks. They can't do any physical damage to you, so hiding behind a shield is going to be pretty much pointless. You're going to want to just dodge those clouds of curse and attack them when it's like, you see how quickly that built up. I was only like on the outskirts of it, and it built up maybe 20% pretty quickly. So you want to avoid those clouds, and you want to do your best to kite these guys out. I probably should be using a bow right now and just pegging one and getting them, and I was impatient when I was recording this, so I kind of just cruised through a little more riskily than I normally would. So pretty much, yeah, you see the quick step ability is really good for this. It takes way less stamina than the roll, and you can do it even if you run out of focus points, which is great. You just don't have the iframes, which isn't really the biggest deal unless I think I'm stuck over here. That's good job from Soft. This is good shit right here. But in any case, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it out of this. I don't remember. It's been too long since I recorded this. Yeah, sorry for the delay in posting this up. I recorded the past 3 episodes or 4 episodes at the same time, but work is, you know, it kept me away for 2 weeks. So, and yeah, I can't get away, call out, or anything like that. So it's basically just got to do what I got to do. So I got out of there, which is nice. And what I was saying is you can still quick step even without focus points, but you don't get the invulnerability frames. So for our purposes, it's pretty ideal. That was a large soul item. And we should be running into some more basilisks in a minute. Yeah, right here. It's like another 2 or 3 of them. For these guys, like I said, you want to just take your time, get 1 or 2 of them at a time. Ideally 1, because they can really get you with that curse very, very quickly. Like I wasn't even touching it, and it got me right there. Normally I avoid them just in general because they're not really interesting fights for me, and they are pretty panic-inducing in some situations. I think in my live commentary, one of them almost gets me, and I'm semi-flustered, and it probably would have been really funny for you to listen to, but I'm gonna get a calm Steve today because I'm not, you know, doing the live voiceovers. But again, I'm just going and drawing them out 1 at a time, you know, kill them 1 or 2 hits, and then let my stamina recover, draw another one out. Pretty sure this is like a soul item or repair powder or some just like genuinely, yeah, repair powder. Genuinely useless unless you're using the Moonlight Greatsword, and even then there's a spell that repairs weapons, so it's kind of like a moot point. So yeah, right here I think I was like, oh my god, don't get me! Because like if you would have got me with that, I would have been done. But in this cove, there's the Seal set and the golden sorceries in this little cave to the right. So that's actually not the most useless thing. This is where the repair spell. I think you get the repair spell from this this scroll actually, and the chameleon spell. There's an open chest, and then there's a unopened chest that has Seal's dress. Seal, what's her name? I can't remember her name right now. This is embarrassing. It'll come to me. But oh, Dusk, duh. So it's Dusk's dress, not Seal. I don't know why I was saying that. Seal's a place, Dusk is a person. So you get Dusk's crown later on in the. There'll be a white birch tree that the giant that you made friends with will be guarding, and he'll help you fight a crab, which is really nice because those crabs are a huge pain in the ass. I'm pretty sure he almost takes them out entirely for me, which is nice, or he gets them to the point where he's staggered, but that's later. So right now I'm just quick stepping my way through. I think I'm looking for the Elite Knight set. There's a armor set. It's the Elite Knight armor set, or it's the Old Knight armor set. I'll have to check the description or the name. Basically, it's the Knight's starting set from the Nameless Knight. That's what it is. It's the Knight's starting set from Dark Souls 1. So it looks pretty cool, and you know, it doesn't weigh you down as much as it did in the first one, so you're not like clunking around. And this should be a soul item, titanite shard. There we go. Which is kind of not a big deal anymore because, you know, we got the Dreamcatcher's Ashes, and we can actually buy these for 800 souls a piece, which is, you know, not a whole lot. We could probably buy like, I can't tell how many souls I have because my screen is a little small when I'm doing the voiceovers, but if that's like 10,000, I mean, it's probably like 11 titanite shards right there. It's a pretty good amount, and you know, it's not like I've been farming, so you want to be really careful with these tree shaman dudes. They are a fucking beating, and I thought I was two-handed my knife there. That's why I saw a little parry whiff trying to. So I'm trying to just kite them into the fire right now because they're super weak to fire, and a lot of times they will walk through the fire. But this one's This one's being much smarter. So if you have any pine resin or anything, use it, and it makes these fights a lot easier. Or if you're a pyromancer, these guys are very, very easy because they're very weak to fire. So pretty much what they're going to do is they're going to spam the stupid skull attack spells, and then they're going to do that slam, makes more skulls. Pretty much everything they do makes skulls, and it's super ignorant and obnoxious. And then these slugs came over here, kind of got me pinned, and yeah, I was definitely panicking right there. Panic rolling my way, trying to not die. So I died over by the Old Wolf of Farron bonfire. So basically, I'm just speeding things up through the magic of editing, so you don't have to watch the run back. And I'm switching to the my broadsword, so I can put the charcoal pine resin on it, because these guys are really weak to fire, and you know, it doesn't trivialize the fight, but it makes it pretty easy to win. So we're having a rematch. Normally I avoid these guys because they don't even give you anything good when you kill them. There's like 2 of them that give you something that's remotely significant, and I completely forgot what they were when I was recording it. And I'll mention it when I oh, they have that pull-up attack too, which I've like literally never seen, and it definitely hurts a lot, and it's got a big wide area of effect. So yeah, I wouldn't know that again if I saw it. So I guess hit the replay button if these guys are bugging you that much, and you can see what it looks like. But that's probably the only attack that they have that doesn't make skulls, and it just has a giant area of effect. So you know, hooray for that. But those guys aren't that bad if you can get them by themselves, and you can move. If you're not in the muck, then you're, you know, all right. So right here should be a sunlight talisman and some Estus soup, which I think is a, like, you know, Siegbro onion guy has been here, because he shows up later where there's some soup, and then you get the, you know, Warriors of the Sunlight Covenant, which I'm pretty sure he is one of them. He's a Sunbro. The first time you find the soup. So right here's a couple of dogs. You know, they're as annoying as every other dog, except they can, you know, take a couple extra hits, and you're in an obnoxious mire of stench. So, you know, with these guys, as always, you know, just dodge their first attack and then hit them. Or if you have a good enough shield, you can just block them, have them bounce off the shield, and then hit them when they recoil off of it. Freaking FromSoft, man. That tree's like getting me down. Can't step up because reasons. So this is that Greatsword I was telling you about, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Greatsword. It's an ultra Greatsword. They're a pretty neat moveset. I guess there's an anime or something, you know, and the guy's named Guts, and he has a sword like that. I'm probably butchering all that, but everybody calls it a Guts sword. I don't know. I've never seen it, so I couldn't really tell you. But that's your Guts sword if you want to do a Guts cosplay, which I wouldn't know anything about. But regardless, you know, here I am. I went under that bridge because I thought there might be something over there, and I think it might actually be on the other side. So now I'm checking, and I don't know if I end up regretting it, because there's like just dogs everywhere, and these dogs are obnoxious. I hate dogs. Not in real life. I love dogs in real life. I hate dogs in Dark Souls. It's just, they're super ignorant. Yeah, nothing. Perfect. So I gotta go fight these stupid dogs and crawl through these purple lily pads, rolling around, getting stuck on trees and shit. Oh, there is an item. Titanite shard. Totally not worth it. Alright, so most of your ventures into this swamp are gonna not be worth it. Some of them are. So this is that dude that jumps on your head. I think he was in the Farron, man, the Poison Swamp Haters Guide to Farron Keep. And I don't think he did either of those attacks to me. I think he just kind of died really quickly. But you know, that's a good opportunity to showcase what the worst case scenario is without dying. And you saw he had that red like aura about him. he was glowing. He does like extra damage or something at that point. And if you go up those stairs, that's gonna be the one of the fires that you put out, and then there's gonna be a bonfire, which is to the right. You see that bridge? So there's 3 of these guys over here, and I think there's a poison gem that they're guarding, which is like just so obnoxiously not worth it. It's not even funny. So pretty much you just want to kite one of them out, not get hit by all that like I did, and you know, just chisel this guy down and hope he doesn't roll catch you like the god that he is. I don't know, these tree guys are just getting me today. Like I don't know, I was on tilt, and then like over here is a pretty stellar performance of they just beat my ass, and I was just like, alright, just go over there and beat my ass again. So then I restart, and you know, here they go. And so this is a pretty good example of like what you don't want to do with these guys, which is run up and let them all just fucking smack you through each other. You want to, I guess, separate them, and these spear guys are obnoxious, man. I just couldn't get right on this part, so I just kind of decided to live with it. Didn't even do the weapon art. I just like just hit them. I was aggravated at this point. These stupid trees, man. I hate these tree guys. I don't even know if I ember up. I should. I think I'm gonna try to cheese him with the bow. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna try to do. So cheesing these guys with the bow is not really something that you can do all the time. If you have fire arrows, it's more useful because they actually take some significant damage from the fire arrows. But they'll just kind of hang around under this bridge, and yeah, I think I tried to get a plunging attack on one of them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I tried to plunging attack this dude. Oh yeah, he totally can hit you through the bridge. So pretty obnoxious, these guys. Like even when you're cheesing them, they're just so cheesy. So I get the plunging attack, and you know this goes. I think this goes a little better, but I got these stupid dogs down here. But they are right next to this bonfire, thankfully. So you know, if you're crashing up against this wall like a wave, you can slowly chew your way through it, like the Grand Canyon and other notable canyons. But Grand Canyon is the best because it's enormous. So yeah, these guys aren't that bad. And yes, you get the Pharis's hat, which is the raddest hat in this fucking game, like bar none. I was super pumped. I had a playthrough that I had this. I think it was my Pyromancer playthrough, and that probably explains like why that playthrough has this, because these guys are like nothing to a Pyromancer. And I just couldn't for the life of me figure out where I was supposed to get this, and I didn't want to wiki it because I don't know, I was just lazy. My Faction Souls I didn't need it. And you get the Black Bow of Pharis. But I was super pumped that I found this hat, like stopped what I was doing, put it on immediately. This hat is the bee's knees in my opinion. It's the most stylish fucking hat in the game. So now I'm just switching back to gear that I can just kind of cruise along in, and we're gonna go to the. It should be a white birch now. So there's the dead mushrooms over here, some more Ulasil stuff. And these dudes, I think I have an easier time with them than I did the bridge folk. But yeah, there's some Ulasil stuff. I'm pretty sure there's a scroll right here. So again, if you're a caster, this is something you're gonna want. You're probably gonna want this more than you're gonna want the golden scroll. So I guess if you want to get a scroll in general, like just one scroll that's quick to get, you can run by those dudes, get the Sage's Scroll, and I'm pretty sure that gives you Soul Spear. Maybe not, maybe that's Logan's Scroll. And then the Crystal Scroll gives you Crystal Soul Spear. I actually haven't played through all the way as a caster. My brother and I were doing a doing a playthrough, and he got busy, and my character was a caster with like a moonlight greatsword and all sorts of cool stuff. But I can't remember what scrolls get you what. So it is that crab, and right there, giant. I help anytime, coming in super clutch right there, just giving him the business. I think he gets killed in like one more hit. You know, this would not be going nearly as well for me if it wasn't for the giant over there raining down hell. You get the lingering dragoncrest ring from that crab and the crown of Dusk. Two pretty good things for casters. Like this whole area, a lot of good caster stuff. And yeah, pretty sure I grabbed a coal in the other video, but it's probably not the best time for speculating. So from here, I'm gonna kill this dog, and I think I'm gonna rest at the bonfire, and then I'm gonna go to the Farron perimeter bonfire, and we're gonna kill ourselves our first Lord of Cinder, and it's gonna be freaking sweet because this Lords of Cinder, I guess, collectively, are pretty cool. I always like bosses that have the kind of have to follow the same rules as you. Like you can parry them, you can backstab them. They get, you can stagger lock them. Like they're like you. They're like player characters, and those are always the most fun and interesting to me. I guess that's a lot of the thrill I had in PvP as well, was just playing against something that was playing under the same rules as me, and that's always gonna be more fun for me. That's why I like the Lothric Knights, even though they kind of have a little ridiculous stamina sometimes. Yeah, so now I think I'm heading over to get that coal. There's a dark wraith guarding a coal over here to the left that I completely spaced out on. Yeah, so you basically go to the left and then follow this stuff. There's like titanite shards, some prism stones, and just I think generally useless crap. But right over there, I had him right on my head. Right there's that dark wraith. So he's gonna come over here. He's gonna try to give you the business, and you're gonna say, "No, sir, not today." And you're just gonna parry him like a boss because you've been playing this game and watching this walkthrough, and you feel awesome. And he's gonna whoop this dude's ass. And hopefully he drops better stuff for you than he did for me, like a whole set. That'd be sweet. But right over here is the Farron Sage's Coal. That's what it is. Yep. And I think that's the only notable item over here. I think I venture out into the swamp a touch more, and then I'll probably end up just boning away. Because I think this leads right to those basilisks again, and I do not want to deal with them. I pretty much just want to show you where all the items are, and GTFO. Yep, that's exactly what's happening. So now we're going to the last bonfire rested at, and then I'm going to fast travel over to the perimeter bonfire. Yeah, Farron P perimeter, or did I go to the old wolf by accident? Oh yeah, where's the old wolf? Because I haven't killed the demon yet. Neato burrito. So this is pretty cool. This demon's pretty rad. He's like a stray demon. So you, I would have showed this in the Keep Haters guide, but it's not like, necessary. If you're just trying to get through here, then this is probably not for you. But there are 2 large titanite shards. Some pretty good loot over here. But I was just trying to show people that were just sick of poison swamps, how to get through this place and, get the maximum benefit with the minimal effort. And, make it a short episode, something like easily digestible. I think I got it in under like 15 minutes, which was pretty sweet. But this is a stray demon right here. He's all like not on fire and crap, which is pretty cool. As you hit him, he kind of like, I think he doesn't even breathe fire anymore. He throws like, shoots boulders at you. It's freaking sweet. So when you hit him, he has a little lava stuff. So what you want to do with this guy is you want to concentrate on the same leg if you can, because you can break his legs off, and that's awesome. You also want to watch out. Yep, that right there. Just broke his legs, and now he's gonna fall forward. You gotta be careful when he's like this too, though, because he is still actually really dangerous because he has all those swing attacks, and then he can shoot like a ton of boulders at you, or you can just get in front of him and hit him with the visceral attack. But you know, that fight went really well. He has a grab attack where he can just grab you, and I don't know if you watch any other YouTubers, but Video Game Donkey, he's hilarious, man. He gets me laughing pretty often. But he's fighting this dude, and the demon just picks him up and throws him off a friggin' cliff. It's hilarious. I've never had that happen to me, but you know, I've almost had it happen to me a few times, and it's pretty funny that he got that to happen to him. And I'm sure that was just like him playing through on the first time, and you know, lots of credit for him for that, because you know, I didn't do that. I kind of like to go real slow my first time through and just like really methodically clear shit out. But yeah, it was pretty funny. And so if you want to see an example of that demon tossing you off a cliff, check him out. So right over here, you got these two crystal lizards. You want to get them. They have large titanite shards, which are very good if you don't have, you know, a boss weapon like I have, because that's gonna be your first real ones that you can get, other than that Drake over by that mimic. If you shoot him with a bunch of arrows, like I don't know, a couple hundred, he'll go away and he'll give you 2 large titanite shards. Those are the first ones you can really have access to, other than these, and that's gonna get you your +4, which is, you know, it's gonna be good, or maybe it's +5. It could be. I think it's +4. But in any case, large titanite shard equal good. So that guy right there had a heavy gem, which is nice for your strength builds. It's much nicer now. They were nice before, but the most recent, well, it was the most recent patch. There was a patch, I guess, that happened like 2 days ago that they adjusted some stuff. I need to read the patch notes on that, because I actually have no idea what they adjusted. When I was at work, it was basically just disconnected from the planet. So I don't even know. I couldn't keep track of any of it. They probably rebalanced a bunch of crap, and I have no idea what happened. But in the next video, I'll like summarize it as I play. So right now, I was just kind of taking in the sights, showing you the part of Undead Settlement where I looked over here, and I mused about the gate not rendering right over there. And you get these last 2 guys, so just don't attack them, because you know, it's fun, and you know, souls, right? Alright, so we got all the goodies over here, and now I'm going to bone again. And there's a lot of boning in this episode, giggity. Basically because in my opinion, the best way to handle this is in short, like, forays into the swamp. To, you know, get what you want, go away. Get what you want, go away. Get what you want, go away. You don't want to spend too much time in the swamp, because, you know, the poison wears you down, and I mean, it doesn't wear you down that much, but it's just, the whole area is just a bummer. So like, it's definitely not as bad as some like other ones, like the Demon's Souls swamp. I didn't dislike it, but I hated the fly noises, and like, it was, you know, obnoxious. So I summoned this guy to get this gesture. This is the dual bow. This is an NPC, the Phantom, the Londor Pale Shade, and then he does a dual bow and he like swings at you. So for some reason, I don't know what the significance of it is. But as I was saying, the Demon's Souls swamp area, man. Oh, that freaking place! I did not like it. I did not like it, not one bit. And I think it's mostly because of the stupid fly noises, and you know, the fact that it was like 10 frames a second and you couldn't see very far. So it's just like not hard to navigate, because it's not like a really complex area to remember, but it's just, I don't know, it took me so long to figure out where I actually needed to go, and it was like so simple once I, you know, knew it. So these 2 dark wraiths right here, they'll attack you at the same time if you don't. I like kind of pulled one, and yeah, of course I tried to parry the kick, which I think that actually used to work like way like in launch Dark Souls 3. Like you could parry kicks, which is it's pretty funny. But when they do that combo, I like invariably always try to parry that kick. And it's probably because it's the third hit, and I like have it in my head that 3 swings equals you should parry now and achieve victory. So you can just avoid all these guys more or less. There's like maybe 1 or 2 of them back here that these brew dudes that you can deal with, and there's a few items. But going through the main like stretch, you don't need to do it. You can let the dark wraiths just kind of cruise their way up there and kill all the dudes on the way there. You get the souls for them dying, and the dark wraiths will be, you know, weaker by the time they get to the entrance to the boss fight, and then you can take them out there if you want. And that's a totally valid strategy. The dark wraiths typically win, but there was like maybe, pretty sure there was one time I was just farming the dark wraiths for their gear, and I was just being lazy about it, just, you know, letting them go over and get ground down by the Gru, and the Gru actually beat them. It was only one time, but I was pretty impressed. And then, you know, those spear guys, man, when they go crazy, they just go crazy, like they did to me on the bridge. You know, it just works sometimes. So when you go through this door, you are treated to pretty cool cutscene. And you will fight your first lord or lords of Cinder, the Abyss Watchers. So if you're having difficulty with this fight, you can summon people. Like you saw, there was 3 or 4 people just waiting to be summoned over by that bonfire. And you know, it'll, I'm not gonna say it's gonna trivialize the fight because he's gonna get more health, but this guy can get stun locked, he can get backstabbed, he can get parried, so you can, you know, you can gank this dude pretty easily if you're having some trouble. But I usually prefer this to be not a duel, because more of them are gonna rise from the dead and, you know, come back and fight you. So cool. I do not like this guy's dagger though, on his hip, his right hip. It's on the costume with his armor. I'll show it in the next cutscene. I think it'll show. It frickin' drives me insane. But right there, I hit him like 4 or 5 times and I chunked him. Like that's a lot of his health. And now he's obviously chunking me up. So I'm just gonna run away, because the second one, I think, rose from the dead. So the first 2, they're gonna fight you exclusively, and another one will rise, and he'll have red eyes, and he'll fight whoever is nearest to him. So if it's you, he'll fight you. If it's the second Abyss Watcher, he'll fight him. If it's the main Abyss Watcher, he'll fight him. And it's actually a pretty, I don't know if it's a speed run strategy or a no-hit run strategy to have this dude just go and kind of just chisel this guy up for you. Just watch them fight and then, you know, jump in at the opportune time. But he can do a pretty good amount of damage, as you can see. I'm just kind of watching what's gonna happen. And now I think I'm just gonna take the opportunity to backstab this dude. Take advantage of my iframes and not get killed right there. Thank the Lord. So I was a little cocky, but yeah. So you knock him down and then you get into the second phase of the fight. So you get all the cool blood of the wolf coming out. It's gonna make this dude super with the power of fire. But when he gets back up, because, you know, this isn't gonna happen if he's not gonna get back up, because that's not how these games work. Look at his right hip, and he's got a dagger on his hip, but the hilt and the whole dagger is different from the scabbard, and it like bends, and it's like right there. Look at it. It's obnoxious. Look at it. Ah, gross. I don't know if I'm the only person that notices this kind of crap, but oh, it drives me insane. Like, I get what you're trying to do, but you know, does he need that dagger? Like, does he truly need that dagger? The answer is no. If you're gonna do it from soft, do it right. It's like when their mouths aren't moving. It drives me nuts. So now he's got the power of super flame, cool dude stuff, and he's got a lot of trailing fire that'll come around behind him. So you gotta watch out if you dodge past him. You have to watch out for that trail of fire as well, because it'll hit you. And he's gonna do a lot more of like cool Artorias stuff, like with the spinning and the flip attacks and crap, the leaps. But it's still the same. Just try to, you know, if you have a good shield, you can use it. I'm not really playing with a shield too much for this playthrough, but there's a few bosses that I'll whip a shield out for. This guy's not one of them. So yeah, the spin like the Artorias, super cool. And leap. It's a cool fight, I think. Kind of wish they had a little more health, but you know, that it might be too hard. I know that when I first was killing this dude, or not killing him, but trying, you know, he gave me down to my last Estus flask, and it was a struggle. I used to have to get all sorts of, you know, help and stuff, and I learned the ropes. And things went well, and he's one of my favorite boss fights, honestly. Or they are some of my favorite boss fights. They're nice and just fun, flashy, cool stuff. And now you can get the soul of the not the soul. What is it? The Wolf Knight Greatsword and the Farron Greatsword. I think that's what they're called. So basically, you can get like an Artorias sword, like Artorias. Like his weapon is going to be a great sword, and then you can get their like great sword with the little parrying dagger, and do the cool little breakdance moves and stuff. It's they're pretty neat. They're not used often in like a PvP sense because they're not the best at it, and PvP is all about, like, it's not all about, but a lot of it's about just, you know, taking every little advantage you can get. But you know, they're definitely fun to use. So pretty much what I'm doing is I'm just selling all my souls that aren't those. And so you can get Havel's Ring and Boulder Heave from the Stray Demon Soul. And you can get the Farron Greatsword or the Wolf Knight Greatsword, I think. Yeah, Wolf Knight's Greatsword from the Undead Legion, their soul, I guess, because they all have one soul collectively. I don't know how that works, but you know, hey, video game, right? So right now I'm just gonna, you know, see what I want to level up, and usually health takes a pretty big priority, so I'm gonna get up to 36, pretty certain. Yep. Up to 36 now, 4 more points and I'll have it up to 40, and I'm going to have a shitload of life, and that's going to make my life a lot easier when it actually comes time to, you know, not dying. And that's just a lot of the, you know, the name of the game there, especially this early in the game. You know, I'm probably a little over leveled for where I am, but that's fine. You know, there's in PvE there's no real, you know, why wouldn't you? I still do pretty good damage for the areas that I'm going to be in, and yeah, there's no reason to level up my damage stats yet. That's like late game, what you do to you know, get the most out of everything you're using. So now I'm just walking around, put the Cinders of a Lord on there, and that's it. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.